Welcome back, everybody. Space Engineers. Morilibus here. Joined with Skimmer. And your aircraft carrier of sorts. What do you think? Do you like your little friend who's bigger than you and who's going to eat you and squish you? Alright, so I did some work here. I don't know how much I changed, other than quite a bit, I think. Oh yeah, we just had like one rib, right? So I kept going with that idea. This is kind of one side's actually different than the other. Gotta try to keep some variety to the exterior. Try to give it some shape. I'm not sure how I like how everything came together here. And the thrusters do create kind of an artificial look, I guess. So less creature-like, maybe? I don't know. I don't know how well I did that. But we can see. Collectors, everything else is the same. I just did a paint job, gave it a gray instead of the yellow. And I started adding in some other colors. The dark gray, the white, and the greens. I created a lot of windows around the exterior. And just started adding in some lights. I did the thrusters like this. This was the base thruster, and that was kind of the base look of this guy before I changed it. Used to look like that. So I did use some pieces to kind of facilitate the thrusters at least. So I put all the thrusters in like this, and then I built around them. I'm not sure about this guy. This is still that our little symbol, but in a bit bigger of a, in the 2x1 armor instead of just the normal ones. These thrusters here, I'm not too sure. It's kind of just roughly, where could I put some sideways thrusters? And this seemed like a decent location, and I think it might work out okay. There is this texture glitch right here, but we can just assume that will eventually get fixed. Maybe? In terms of how many thrusters we need, I don't know. I just kind of winged it, but we could actually probably copy this and turn into a ship and see how quickly it moves. Let's try that. Copy. Come over here. But this is about the size I think I want the ship. I don't want the ship to get any bigger than it currently is. And I don't think we need it to be. We'll take a look at the inside here in a second. We'll have to add a cockpit of some kind, maybe, so we can fly. Can you fly? We should also find a place for this cockpit on where it could be. I went ahead and put the spherical gravity generator in. It's attached to the glass, and the glass is attached to these armor blocks. They're like the little armor ramps. And there's a glass on top, which is attached to the catwalks, and the catwalk's attached to the armor. And I've kind of got it set up. I don't think I have gravity in here, do I? Not sure. Don't think so. Yeah, I don't think it's set up to walk around yet. But I made it so we could kind of travel through here. It's pretty dark. And there's just a series of catwalks. I figured this kind of looked fairly industrial and thought it had a nice little feel to it. And it provides us with a decent amount of storage and kind of access to most of them just from the catwalk. We can go down here. And I thought it'd be cool to have just a way to go around, I think I mentioned. So that's what we can do. And we can actually visit the kind of thruster area at each location. So this changed a little bit. And I decided to add a large reactor at each of the thruster locations. And then also that spherical gravity generator, which is located almost between them. It's favoring this side by a block. So it just means the sphere is going to stick out a bit more below than it would above. Then I hooked up all the cargo containers. But that's about it. And the grav gens. But yeah, this is the ship one, right, that I just built? So let's go ahead and hop on. Sure. We're going to fly from here. Convert to ship, please. Let's see how fast or slow this thing is. Everything is heavy armor, so it could be pretty slow. Oh, it's not taking as long as I anticipated. Okay, where's the speed? 5 meters per second. Can slow down. So is that fast enough? And it's only going to get slower. I guess so. And for the most part, actually, like, we're not going to be using all these thrusters. For the override, I think what I'm going to do is just use the large thrusters, which is probably okay. It might be all right. How about side to side? Forward. Still pretty slow. I don't know. We might want to add in even more thrusters. Maybe another bank right below those ones. But as long as it's keeping up with skimmer and doesn't have to accelerate constantly, like it's just keeping its speed up and just adjusting, changing direction when necessary. Hopefully that'll be enough. Hopefully. Okay, so I got a little bit of different armor. You can see if you look down in front of us, this one curves out and comes out a bit further. This one's just straight across. So this was the original, but I feel it kind of looks squarish, where this adds a little bit of roundness to it. And if we want it kind of sea creature-like, it probably shouldn't just look like a square pyramid of sorts. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of what happened. I like it, and I'm not 100% okay with it, but I like the idea of it, and I like certain parts of it, but there might be things we want to change. What I would like to add, and as you've mentioned, is some kind of refinement. It would provide us with benefit of, we could take an arc. I don't know if we want to put refineries. It might be worth it as well. At least maybe just a few. We don't want to do like tons. Like this is kind of, as one of you mentioned as well, it's almost like a mini version of our base kind of thing, in essence, without any like repair bay or anything like that. But the concept's kind of very similar to our station, but just downscaled. So we don't want to get too crazy and upscale it all the way to the point where it's too big again. So that's why I think this size is okay. I might have overdone it with some of the heavy armor. Probably could have put some light armor in places to make it a bit easier. I've been trying to light it up as well, which is kind of tricky. Trying to find, it feels very dark. But yeah, if we had refineries or arc furnaces, they would add the benefit of breaking down the ores and taking up less space. So one of you said it takes, an ingot takes up roughly about a quarter of the space of the ore that it came from. Now I guess that changes now with the efficiency modules, because at one point we were able to get more actually out of it, but that was weight. I'm not sure volume, if it's less, 1 to 4 to 1 ratio in volume maybe. Anyway, it should take up less space. The point was in ingot form than in ore form. So if we're converting stuff on the go, especially like iron, which is going to be one of our main things we collect, if we convert those on the go, where do you have, you just have on the sides, don't you? Then we could technically stay out here longer and collect longer. So we could, I mean, hell, we could simply just do like whoop. And this will add, unfortunately, weight is pretty much it. And I might want to maybe get rid of those ones. Oh yeah, you're a ship. Well, we don't want to modify this one, so we can play around with it. We'll delete this when we're done. I could put like a sorter here, I guess. Where are you? That way we can control which one goes in. And we'll just do something like that. And then, who knows? Conveyor maybe? Oops. Me double click too slow. And that gives a two-way connection, but we can control what comes in here. And we can simply have it do that. That's an option. We could do it a bit more elegantly and put it somewhere else. And we don't want to add in too much weight, but I guess as long as that's good. Actually, what I wanted to see there, I didn't notice our power consumption while we were flying. So let's take a peek at that again. Do we have power usage? Okay, that's 2 directions, that's 3 directions, and then dampening, we do overload, but we'll probably add some more power somewhere maybe? Maybe another 5th and final reactor. Or I could do the math. I could do the math. Oh god, yeah, all these are floating away. That's the trick of symmetry. It's useful, but I noticed like sometimes you delete things in the wrong order. Like, I'm not used to playing in creative. I don't do too much of it. Just the odd time for some builds. But yeah, delete the wrong part, and then all of a sudden the rest aren't in symmetry or included in the symmetry, and then they get left behind. And then you go and place more blocks, but they don't get placed because you had other floating blocks still there. Anyway, getting a little crazy. All right, so that's that. One thing I want to touch on, let's just delete this. We could probably get rid of all the other ones. Let's take a look at the gravities and how they're all going to work, because I think we're ready to demonstrate that. There's a lot of gravity on right now. 4.7 Gs. Oh, all the spherical gravs are like maxed. I just spawned in a piece of ore, and it went flying towards the station and exploded. Is there an easy way to fix that? Do I still have that thing pasted? No, I think the last thing I copied was the assembler. Oh, damn. Well, now I gotta repair that. So when I said we were like ready to test the gravity, I meant I still have to set up the gravity fields to the appropriate levels. That is what I meant by that. Yeah. Oops. Alright, well, one thing we have to concern ourselves with is how do we get into this thing when we're said and done? It would probably be nice if there was a door. I mean, we could probably swap out this glass for like just a little airlock or something. That was the other thing we should think about is air, oxygen. Do we want oxygen? If we want oxygen, do we want the whole ship to have oxygen? Do we want one little area to have oxygen? I was almost thinking of trying to like frame in all the catwalk area and then just have that have oxygen and then have this space outside not, but I don't know how well that would work. So I'm thinking either the whole ship would have oxygen or it needs some kind of control room or cockpit, which could maybe be up here somewhere. So maybe in that room there would be oxygen? I'm not sure. Let me know your thoughts on that. But we could just try to oxygenate the whole thing, I guess. This is a lot of space. A lot of space. Alright, let me set up the gravity. The other alternative is we could have a door. Really? Wow. Didn't even know it came all the way back this way. We could have a door under here to get in, similar to this hole, but less artificial. I guess I'll repair this too. Tautwing, I need you. My welders are too slow. Alright. Much better. Now, I know you can put like the armor blocks just up against the deformed ones and they come back into proper alignment or what have you. But I found it was just too... I couldn't tell where the blocks were. Alright, let's look at the gravity. We've got Skimmer here who has 2 gravity fields for herself. So the smallest one is a repulsion, so it is the strongest of its 2. The bigger one is the traction one. So things should pull in, but if they go into here, they should repel back out. And based off the placement of the 2 spherical gravgens, the ore tends to want to collect up here. So what the goal of the collector ship's going to be is when that ore is coming out, it's going to basically want to collect here if the collector ship wasn't here. But with the collector ship, it's going to get some extra pull up into this area. But if the collector ship is not directly above Skimmer or has moved away for whatever reason, the ore should continue to collect here until the ship can come back and snag it. So how the ship will snag it is with its spherical gravgen. Now, it doesn't have to be this big. We could definitely shrink it down, and we probably will. So all these gravities are going to be working together. And as long as we set it up so that this one is the strongest, which I currently do not have. As you can see, it's kind of pulling this way. And now it's going up, but now it's going down. So I got to make this guy stronger than these 2. or at least the resulting one, the push and the pull. So let me do that. Actually, one place we could possibly put a door is like here, maybe. That's sloped up. Yeah, will that give us access? Kind of. Just about. It's kind of an awkward place for a door. Oh, there's that gravity we don't want to get into. But maybe for like a maintenance hatch, that could work. Okay, so here we go. I loaded up some ores. And what we're seeing is even the ones on the side, they pretty much go straight up. Once they get out a little bit, the gravity kind of pulls them up. So ideally this is what we want, and it looks like as stuff gets up here, it's getting shot out. I think I have to adjust these a bit because there's a dead zone wherever these things are crossing, I think. So in that cross right now is a dead zone, so we'd have to adjust that. But that worked pretty good. That was quick. Quick demonstration. Need more ore. Okay, so let's try again, but this time we'll move skimmer, maybe not so it's so close. So we'll come down and maybe we'll go off towards an angle and we'll see what happens there. Okay, how's that? Yeah, it's kind of way out in front. This would be not how we would want it to be. We'd want this guy to stay above it, but let's just see what happens. Let's load up some more ores. So because that one's stronger, it's still going to pull that way. If any ores did go in there, they should get deflected out. So these guys are strong. 0.5, and we could up them if we need to. So if anything comes up here, it should go out until it exits the sphere. And then it should make its way back over here. And here we can see them ricocheting off the wall, so they're not getting a direct path to the collectors this time. But they are still getting collected. And I still need to fix that. But none are... doesn't look like anything is escaping. They're hitting over here, but they're not like getting out and then going up and orbiting the ship by the looks of it. So even with the ship ahead of it, it looks like it's still able to collect quite nicely. And we'll have to check again once we get the tracking system up and running. We can actually just set skimmer going around an asteroid and see how it handles it. Excellent. Alright, so what are we missing? I have not done any of the sensor stuff yet. We have 2 sensors on the floor. And those are going to be for the thrusters. So the 2 different fields. So we'll have one head that way, the other one head that way, and they'll cover probably a 5 to 10 meter area. Some bands. I'm going to want to add some more sensors down there, which is going to control the tilting. So we could probably just throw another one in line here, like so. And this one will probably just be just like it is, except we'll go all the way back, but it probably just 5 by 5, and we'll show sensor fields. But yeah, these ones I'd have to go around and change them all, unfortunately, unless they're probably all 20, I would think. They should get the same name because they're just being duplicated. So these ones we want left, bottom. These ones we do want the bottom. So let's go bottom, keep that at 5. Top we'll bring down. Back all the way, front down, sensor 22. Similar. Except we'll do, instead of the bottom, we'll do the top at 5. Front and all the way down. Okay. So that should be our sensor fields. And yeah, this one's going to be for gyros, basically. It's going to be looking down, trying to find an asteroid. We might have to use 2 sensors. I'm not too sure how I want to do it just yet. But it'll be looking for an asteroid. And that's how it's going to level itself off. So it's going to have these 4 posts that basically go down and try to find an asteroid. And until they find it, they tilt in that direction. And we'll have to create some other redundancy so it doesn't just constantly fight itself if no points have contact. But that's hopefully what it'll do. It'll track that as well as the bands. Oh, why aren't they showing up? Did I not put them on HUD? Hang on then. Sensors. Show on HUD. Thank you. And there's our box. So the box is still good. I think I made it so it would just work roughly where the sensors are. And we'll probably play with the fields a bit. I'll probably make them a bit bigger. But that's roughly what we'd have. And then, yeah. How come you didn't do a symmetry thing? Or did I only change the one? I probably did, and I only modified the one. But that's roughly, I think, all we'll need for sensors. So we still have to find room for the gyros. Remote control. Some kind of cockpit or control station, maybe with LCDs in hopes that we could map cameras to stuff. Cameras, we should find a bunch of locations where we could put cameras. Still got to figure out the refinement, stuff like that. Cargo placement, I think, is okay if we keep this layout. If we want to do oxygen, we got to think about oxygen generators and stuff like that. Vent system, all that kind of jazz. If we do the refinement, we'll do filter blocks so we can control what gets refined relatively easy. We probably want some program blocks. Those can go in the control room. We still need the ejection system at the top. We still need a roof. This could be where one of the exits or entrances into the station could be. It could have a little area here where we go through the door, and that'll bring us into the control room or something. And then from there we can go into the bottom of the ship. And then, yeah, maybe we can find room for some other maintenance areas. All right. The other issue, I guess, is these gravity fields. If we're walking around in here, and if we're going to walk around in here, we need a gravity to do that. Currently, that's not set up. But when we get over to these areas, when the ship is running, obviously, we're going to get pulled in. And right now, we're being affected by this grav. But we could have a linear gravity here. But because these guys push a lot harder, I'm not sure. I think we'd still be probably walking like this with the linear one as well. So these might just be kind of off-limit areas while the thing is running. I'm not sure how we want to do that. All right, let's head back to base. Click. You are getting sleepy. Wow. It's kind of creepy. You know what this reminds me of? For some odd reason, when I was a child, well, it's not odd that I was a child, but it's odd that it reminds me of this. There's these little toys that were kind of like sticky, and there were ones that were shaped like octopuses. And I think the premise of these toys was you'd throw them at the wall, and the sticky nature would cause them to kind of slowly creep down. I don't know if it's the glossiness of our character's arm and its visor, but it's giving me that octopus falling down the wall vibe. Or like he's powering up for some super move combo. But anyway, here we are. Very similar format, I guess, to last episode. We were in the construct, now we're back. And what I wanted to look at today was simply how are we going to connect this up to this. So let's grab taut wing. What do you got? You got welders? That's actually probably pretty good. This stuff looks deformed, so let's go ahead and fix it so we can get a better look at what this actually looks like. And let's see what we can do with how it is currently. If we can just add something, or if we need to change something to make that happen. But what if we simply do this? I'm going to create like a similar arch to the one up there, I think. The one by the window. Maybe something like that, but shorter. And then we'd want 45 right away. And then we could 45 it up, or not 45 it. Then we go to the other ones again. I don't know though. Don't think I'm liking it. It's not doing it for me. It's not the right place. And now we're right in line with the pipe. Okay. Well, what if... What's next to that? Alright. Okay. We could... Let's take that off. Need something with, like, all the armor. Okay, we could do that. That. Make it 3 wide. And I guess just... Oh, why am I using heavy armor anyway? Confused. We were using heavy armor, so now I want to use heavy armor. This does not need to be heavy. Okay. Okay. So there we have it in light armor. Hard to say, really. Doesn't look good here, though. Of course, that would keep coming down, which I did not put back in. And I guess we rip that out. Okay. How about this? If that's coming off of there, it's gonna round and come back. I don't think... We don't want it to attach here unless we move the thing down. Can we move the thing down? How much could we move the thing down? I don't think we want to move it down, because if we move it down, we won't have this view anymore. We could maybe get away with 1 block, but that would feel constricted, I think. Yeah, let's not move it down. Okay, let's work with the height we have, or we can move it up. Those are our choices. But we could simply have it, I guess, come right off of these guys. Either from there, and not even have any of these exposed. Let's just try that. Either have it permanently attached or have it now come away. So there I did 2 45s. Is that at the same height? It's close, actually. 45. I think it is. This might actually work. Well, I don't know if it's going to look good. It's going to go up in a similar fashion. And I don't mind this, the way it's kind of going around the pipe. That might actually be kind of nice. Okay. And if we made that, I guess, 3 thick as well. Now I can't have... This is interesting. I think what we'll do... Okay, we'll keep that. I have an idea. Alright, I have an idea. Let's not lose it yet. It's okay. All is not lost. I don't like how it looks right now with the top part sticking up. But I think we can adjust for that. And here, I think we might want to try to go backwards a bit more. Maybe by a block. Let's try that. And then we can have this one extend more. Maybe right here, even. So we'll have it go forward 1 more before it comes down. Alright. So that's that part. Of course, it'd be better if we welded it. So I think that looks okay. It's hard to tell. Let's look at it from this way. Because it's really hard when this isn't attached to anything. It looks really off. In fact, this all looks off. I think I might want to do what I did over here. How this gets offset. So maybe we'll do the same thing. I'll just push this back a little bit more. Our inventory is going to fill up here. So it will be... Let's see. like that. And then wherever it meets up, it meets up. Which would be like that. So, that would involve changing this though. The current beam, which would affect this guy. I don't think I can do it. It's a perfect arch. It's beautiful. I don't know. It might be possible, but I don't think it's going to be smooth. So, I think failure is what we will accept and not do it this way. And we will instead try to think of a different way. So what if we just do out to the side instead? So off of these ribs, we'll just go another one going up. So let's see here. Energy low. Problem solved. Okay. So I added in some weld, just so we could take a better look at that. Trying to do it like this way, kind of looks nice on that side, but the side that matters here, this is what it would have to do. It would basically be cutting into the slab in an awkward way. So I don't think we'll do that. Can we do it a different way? Let's put that back. That's 45. What if we just went... What if we went like 45 there? And then did something weird? Something like that? And made that tie in back here still? That's awkward. Why would that do that? Not sure about that. Okay, but anyway. That's it with welds. Not too bad, but yeah, awkward right here, I think, because this stuff's sticking up with no purpose. Alright. So what if... Where are the blocks I want? What if we take that and now we start going up? Could do it with those. Or we could do it with this, I think. Or do we want... Whoa. Whoa. Yeah. Want that. Is this gonna work? Can I do a diagonal? Let's try. I think I'm just doing the same thing that I was trying to do a second ago with the diagonal thing. Yeah, this is gonna head off, or it's trying to head off diagonally. Oh, what if I work with that? Let me try. I tried going diagonal, but let's try again. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. Okay. In order to deal with this beauty, we're going to equip 2 grinders. Beautiful. Alright, but yeah, this looks awkward. It's not going together like I was hoping, although I didn't really know how it was going to go together anyway. I was pretty sure it's very hard to do these kind of arches diagonally, even with the new blocks. It might be possible, but I don't like what I put here, so I'm destroying it. All the evidence is almost gone. It never happened. Poof. Okay. So, that didn't work. Let's go back to what I was originally kind of looking at here. So what if we simply do... Simply... We do something like that, and then from here we just start angling. Either with 45s, or again... Let's try the exact same arch, I guess. Okay. I think that'll probably work. Oh god, too fast. Or it's better than what I just had. That is for sure. Alright, let's take a step back. Let's see how terrible it is. It's also kind of hard to tell because we just have the one. We could project it. Although I think I'm liking that, at least roughly. Tortwing, shed some light on the situation, and let's also paint it so it's the right color. I want to be careful not to overpaint, which I usually like to do. Hit the shift and just ruin everything you just spent the last hour on painting because you hit shift when you shouldn't have. How dare you? I don't know about the angle of these guys. They look a little scrawny maybe, or awkward. I don't know. I'm not sure about where it's joining up here, if this is good or not. Is it good? And then that's just off. So at least fix that. Okay. So yeah, this part here is kind of weird. But I figured it had to go... It couldn't go higher than... Or it kind of had to go higher than the conveyor. And we still have to figure out what to do with the glass here. We could probably drop the glass. Or we should probably just armor up this, maybe. So like from here we could go just straight. And then maybe create... Okay, that glass isn't hooked up to anything, but we could do something like that, I guess. Have that one awkward spot there by the conveyor. Or right here. There's no piece that would fit that. So I don't know if we should get rid of it, square that off completely. Or leave it like that. Oh well, but we'll leave it like this for now. But I think that gives an okay look. We should maybe move this up another block and have it come out of here. That might look a bit better. But overall, I think it has the look we're going for, maybe. Then you gotta envision it 4 more times. Alright, well, I'll leave it with you. I definitely could use some polishing, but let me know on the general idea. If you like it, don't like it, if that looks awkward, if it should maybe come up higher. Okay. Well, we'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye.